Hey YouTube, hey YouTube, hey YouTube, hey YouTube, hey YouTube.
I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Oh my God. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Run for it, Marty!
Hey YouTube, Phat Pastor here, and welcome to Thursday night hang time. This is the first stream that I've done since the championship, and so I've got a lot of things I want to talk about. It's probably not going to be a long stream tonight. Got a lot going on, and my health is not real good right now also, so on top of everything else, I'm not feeling very well, but I am here. I do have some things. I know there's some things that people are waiting on. Horizon Commander FPV, hello, Phat Pastor and fellow pilots. Hello, Horizon, how's it going, brother? I think he is a member, so he's probably changed his name. I think that's a new name change there for somebody that's been on for a while. My memory is horrible now, which is one of the things I'm going to talk about here on the stream tonight. But there's Mr. Raymond Carrera. Saw that he logged on early. Some of you might know I'm wearing different glasses. I normally wear my normal or my everyday glasses, look like these, but I have a set that doesn't have the bifocal and stuff in them that is for streaming, and I must have packed them up in something and took them to the championship to use. I vaguely remember using them during the championship, so I'm not always doing this to read the text.
At Luna 7.
How's it going, Aluna? Welcome to the channel. Jason Levin, that's right. That's right. I thought I recognized your avatar there by the motorcycle, and it says you're a member. I like that. It's Hosan, right? Not Horizon. Hosan Commander FPV. All right. And Aluna 7. If this is your first time here on the channel, welcome. Want to talk some about the championship, some things that went really good and some things that didn't go so well. And I have to say that the things that didn't go so well was mostly my fault. I have not been close to being on my A game for a while. I was just telling somebody today, I don't even think that I am on my C game, much less my A game. But there was some problems that come up. First problem we had there at the championship was they wanted us to use a LTE hotspot for streaming and internet, and it was only like 38 megabytes per second, which is fast enough to stream, but about part of the way through, probably about an hour into actually streaming, we noticed that there was 7 total people, 6 other people connected to it. So I guess it was people there at the fairgrounds, and the audio was, or the video was very laggy, in and out. And so when we bit the bullet and found out that there was not anything we could do about making that hotspot any faster, I had brought the Starlink, so I hooked it up, got it going, and it served us well for the remainder of the race. And the second big problem that we had in the streaming was the audio.
At Atreides VPV.
How's it going, Atreides? Yeah, I think so. Yes, I've got it up over here. Yeah, I see you there, brother. I just didn't see any response back. I can hear you, I think.
Here? Yeah.
Yeah, there me is.
Oh, we're good.
So, we'll wait until we see him on, but, and that was just, I was not even, my mind is still just reeling from everything that we are going through. And I should have had, this was something at a normal race that I probably would have had fixed in 10, 15 minutes. But thank goodness Dreadpool was there, and he was able to, he wasn't able to fix my gear, so he brought gear of his own, thank God, and hooked it up and got it all working. So the last day of the stream was really was the much better one to watch, the UDL. So yeah, it went well, and as soon as waiting on Atreides to get some video here. Can you hear me, Skip?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yep. He's on there. And we'll be switching over to him here in a minute. I see him. I see him. There he goes.
There we go.
All right, let me switch to the screen. There we go. That one worked all right off the bat. That's why the quality was so bad. Yeah, it was. And once we hooked up the Starlink, we was averaging about 250 to 300 megabytes per second. So the bandwidth was no longer a problem after that. We just run into sound issues that I should have known better with it. I had it the way I had it hooked up, it was looping the sound back into itself, and there was no way to turn up individual. Even though it has a mixer built into my set, there was no way to turn up the announcers. The problem that we had is if we turned it down to where it wasn't clipping on the stream, the pilots at the race couldn't hear it. So at one point, as a race director, and this is just a little bit of advice to all of you guys out there that are new to directing races and everything, the race comes first. You've always got to make sure that the pilots have what they need, and because if they don't, if you don't have a race, you don't have a stream. So let me flip this around so it reads right. There we go. And so we did that, and in between, in a break, I think we'd broke for lunch or something like that. Wade jumped in there and got it done. This is the first time we've chatted, isn't it, Skip? Other than briefly over the phone since
I watched all weekend and
Yeah,
caught
we
the
had a
last
couple
minute
of
or so on
brief,
that Friday.
phone talks, but yeah, this will be the first time we've talked to any extended amount of time for sure.
yeah.
But no, I think it was great. I think we all had a blast, had a really fun time.
It was
We've
definitely a
got a
great
lot of
venue.
confidence.
Yeah, it was definitely a great
Um,
venue, a great track. Some of the, I won't say some, for me, it was the most exciting racing that I've been a part of. It come down to last minute stuff and surprises, all the way up to the end. Do I have a link to the Discord? Yep, we do. Skip, could you post that? I can. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. It's just gonna put a mark over Skip's face when I do this. See that? But there we go. And paste. There it is. All right. Speaking of Raymond, Raymond said he watched all weekend. But I'm not going to do the conventional mail time.
But Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper.
Apache Smoke, how's it going? What's up, man?
Yeah, so Pastor, I've got a lot of feedback about people that seen the track and
Hey bro,
seen
how
the
are
race,
you?
and they thought it was amazing. I know Two Dog RC complimented on the track and the race. He said it looked great. And there was a couple other people that really liked how the track looked with the black lights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's something a little bit different, using all black lights pretty much, except for just a couple gates, and it worked out great.
Yeah, I thought it did. It was very fun flying, and the RF wasn't much of an issue at all. Of course, the RF Explorer helps you with that, because when people start complaining about
At metal_craft_FPV.
Hang on. Give me just 1 second here, Skip. I am going to mute Jarvis so that he's not constantly interrupting the stream. There we go. All right. Now let's go back to. Okay. All right. So I got to go to 533 and get some new stick ends. Well, they got them for you there, Metalcraft. They'll set you up. So,
Yeah, I actually make them myself.
yeah. Skip had a version of his own. I don't know if he still got them or not, but the Skip had some skip sticks. That's kind of like the rip sticks, but different. Something that he had come up with on it. I was saying this, and before I forget, I'm not going to do mail time. Raymond, I have not forgot about you. I have got your bag right here. It has not been shipped yet because I just got this in the mail today, Skip. So that stuff you sent, it come in. Somehow
Nice.
this is a shirt that's made up and customized for you, Raymond. Somehow that got mixed up in Skip stuff and made it back to Maryville instead of staying here. And Skip was gracious to ship that back to me as quick as we noticed it was not in amongst my stuff. So hopefully that will go out by Monday. I hope to get it out this week, but Raymond, it's not going to show you what's in it because I want it to be a surprise. But this is without the shirt, and this is the flight bag pilots got at the race. We had a couple left over, and all of that's going to be given away in time. And all of that. So here on the channel, it'll all be given away. So yeah, there's a couple of these left over. Some of our pilots of the pro pilots that they go to so many races, they get so much of this stuff. But this is the Gym Fan. It's not really a fat strap, but it's like a fat strap. So this some of the stuff that we have left over that you guys will be able to get your hands on it. So what'd you guys think of the thumbnail? That a big shout out to Tell Burkett. Tell, I forget your race name, brother. But he came. He's a member of Middle Tennessee Drone Racing and has been out of the drone racing scene for a little while, but showed up at the race, and he's an amazing photographer. So he sent. Did you see all those? I don't know what you call it. It's not stop motion, but all of those long exposure pics that he made. Skip, did you see
Yeah,
those?
they were amazing. I really liked that.
Yeah.
They really pop and make things look pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. There's the thumbnail on this stream is that one where he's. I guess that's Johnny Scars because wasn't he the only one that was flying the orange UDL?
Yeah.
So it's got Johnny Scars in it, and it's of course it's got the line behind him, the streak behind him, and you can see the quad in mid flight, which was pretty John Brown cool, man. Apache, I am doing good, man. How are you way over there on the other side of the pond? Are you back in Europe? Because the last I heard from you were still in China at T Hobby, I believe it was. So, yeah.
Yeah, Housing Commander FPV. Yeah, so every stick and ripstick is actually resin printed by me. I take part in actually doing every one of those myself and making sure that they're done right. And I don't know if you guys have ever done resin printing, but it's not fun. Uh, it's really nasty work. Uh, it looks like you got a printer going back there. What's going on?
I do got to print. I'm actually printing up something for the Thanksgiving banquet at church. I'm printing up LED oil lamps to set
Oh, okay.
on the tables for our Thanksgiving banquet. So, uh, yeah.
So the oil is going to go through the lamp.
Well, it's not a real oil lamp. It's
Oh,
you take the LED, the candles that
yeah,
flicker. It's got the little LED. It looks like a light that flickers. And
yeah.
that's the base of it. And I took the globe somewhere else, but
I remember
it's got
when
a
I was
clear globe
yeah,
that puts
I
over top
remember
of
when
it.
I was a kid. I used to go over to this lady's house all the time named Clarence, and she had an oil lamp.
Uh
And
huh.
I used to just sit there and watch that thing all day long. Well, not all day long, but I'd watch it quite a while
Hmm.
because it would rain down oil into it, and it was pretty big.
Oh, that must have been a different kind of oil lamp. The one that this is similar to is like what you would see at Cracker Barrel. Just it's got the base on the bottom of it and the wick that turns up through it, and it's got the flute on the top of it. You know, kind of the glass that slides down on it. Yeah.
Well, the oil lamp, the old style oil lamp, the way it worked was it had little strings like fishing line running through
Oh
it.
no, no, no. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's a decorative oil lamp. I'm talking like a coal oil lamp, like they used to use
Oh,
in mines and
oh,
stuff. Yes,
okay.
yeah. That it looked like pancake syrup going
Yeah,
down the. Yeah, it
like slow
had like a
motion rain.
statue. Yeah, had like a statue. My mother had one. Had like a statue in center of it, and it rained it down. Yeah.
Yeah, this one had a water mill, and the oil would go through the water mill and also be raining at the same time.
Oh yeah. 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 I remember those. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm.
Raymond, sorry about the whole T-shirt thing. And that's just something that happens at these races. Our stuff gets mixed up every once in a while,
Yep.
and we just have to send it back to each other.
Yep. I'm still looking for my streaming glasses. I don't know what I did with them. They may be in the case, in the flight case. That's one of the things I've not had back open since I got back. But um, yeah, that's why I'm wearing these glasses. These are like my old mowing glasses. But if not, I have to do this to read the chat and my other ones. So uh, yeah, it was a very fun time. The racing was phenomenal. Um, I don't think we could have asked for a better venue. I think they did great with the venue. It was plenty big enough and accommodated. And the only downside on the venue was that when we had it, um, Flyboy's father on Saturday, wasn't it Saturday? No, it was Sunday. Sunday he went to get was it Sunday? It was either Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember what it was. He went to get some pizza. We had all ordered a bunch of pizza. I think it was Sunday. And of course it's at the state fairgrounds or well the county fairgrounds, but it's really the state fairgrounds. It's where they hold the state fair and all of that. And in between him leaving to go pick up the pizza and coming back, they had, I guess they were doing some kind of trick or treating event, trunk or treat or something out there on part of it. And the police did he tell you this, Skip? Did you even know about this?
No, huh?
When he went to get the pizza, the police had the fairgrounds shut off because there were so many kids walking around in costumes. And you might have noticed right before lunch, there was several teenagers and stuff that come in and looked around and watched for a little while and then left.
Yeah, yeah.
That's because from my understanding, there was some type of a Halloween event going on where the kids were going around and the cops had the fairground shut off. And it's like, you can't get in. And he's like, you don't understand. I'm with an event. Now, it was fortunate for us that Steven went because, as most of y'all know, he was he was a state trooper for a long time, and he knows how to play the game. And he's like, okay, that's fine, I understand, but then if you're going to block me off and not let me go, then you guys need to deliver these pizzas to the Hell Moss building, and I'll just give them to y'all, and y'all take them over there. And they were like, on second thought, we can let you through. You just you go on through. And he's like, I know how to play the game. It's like those guys have got orders not to let anybody through, but if it comes down to them actually having to get up and do something, then that's how you get stuff done. So
That's a pretty good one right there.
yeah, yeah.
The only other downside was there was no hot water in the shower.
Oh, yes, you did tell me that the first night, and that until you mentioned it, that had slipped my mind.
Well, I what I don't understand in the little bathroom that was there was actually hot water there with a
Mhm.
big hot water heater and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. In that other room, it was a big hot water heater. So I
Yeah,
was like, that's an awful large hot water heater for this
for
little.
just a sink.
Yes, a sink and a toilet was all that was in there that had. But
But the shower stalls they might have had it all. So
yeah, yeah. And if I would have thought, of course, again, to everybody that was present at that, Skip can attest. It's not just me. Um, I was not even close to my A game, and I'm still not. That's um, and it'll be a while before I'm back on my A game. But I had the number to the caretaker guy. I probably could have called him for you if I'd have been on my A game, Skip, and had him
yeah,
turn that on. And but I didn't. So I'm sorry. Forgive me.
it's all good. We went to the the Flying J or whatever you call it, the truck and stop and ordered a couple showers. Even
Yeah.
though the Pilot Travel Center, that's what it was.
Oh yeah.
Even though it was $17 a shower, it was well worth $17 a shower for sure.
$17 a shower.
I
Wow.
have to have my shower. I have to say it was especially the second shower. It was a waterfall.
Well,
Of,
it was. Yeah, it was a
yeah, so
nice one.
it was a nice one.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. And Skip, you podiumed twice, right?
Yeah,
And both 65 and UDL.
I won
So
$125
yeah.
and
So that paid for your showers.
yeah, I got third place in 65 mil sport, and then I got second place in UDL sport, and I got close to getting first place in UDL sport, and I like to say that Charlotte won because of me because she was all kind of stressed and and I went up to her. I was like, "Hey, we're just flying with a bunch of friends. Let's just have fun. Go out there and have a blast." And I was like, "You got this." And then she went out and beat us all.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, chat was down again. YouTube did its thing. So, all right, now it's back up. All right. So yeah, and ended up getting second overall in UDO, didn't she?
She got. I don't think she done. No, she didn't do the pro. I don't know what the overall standings were or anything
Yeah.
like that. I didn't read those, but she got
Uh,
first in sport for sure.
yeah. We got those. I noticed, I think it was Noah. Somebody put Noah or Wade one put all of the standings up on the.
Yeah, Noah done that. I'm not too sure how that works. If it's just off points and or what. I don't know how that works, but
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Apache said that he had an amazing time when he was there. And
that's
uh,
awesome.
yeah. Yeah, it was T Hobby Now he's back in boring Holland. So I was wondering what they're made of. Okay, yeah, he's talking about the sticks. It's resin print. Yeah. So I'm caught up with reading the chat. Let me go ahead and read the names of the McFlies was here. Raymond Carrera, Derpy Hooves, Hosan or Hazen, either one commander. I don't know how we pronounce that, but you can let us know. And a Luna 7, Trades, and Raymond Carrera, Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper, and there was Metalcraft FPV, and there was someone else. I know I'm overlooking them. Definitely someone else, but yeah.
We got our dates on our races, or one of our first race in Knoxville. If anybody's interested, it's going to be November 15th.
Oh, so what is that? Is that Tiny Trainer or 65?
So it's going to be Tiny Trainer starting out. I think we'll start at 12, and then that will end, I believe, around 6, and then 65 mil will start. So yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
All right. Where's it going to be?
At Clinton High School in Clinton, Tennessee.
Okay. Yeah, that's
That's
where
close to Knoxville.
Yeah, where y'all held the Tiny Trainer
Yeah.
season. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. I guess that's a good time. It brings up another thing. I am going to be taking time off. I will not be doing a weekly live stream until after the New Year's. I'm going to hop on because there's things that I want to give away. So keep watching the channel. It's right now we're just doing the best that we can do to get through a day, and my family really needs me right now. And then the church and what I have left after that, which is not a lot as far as on the energy level. I can spend here on the channel. I do have some giveaways that I'm going to give away. We're going to give away some of this stuff left over from the bags. There was a drone, the Bandolero, that I wanted to give away on the stream, but because the stream wasn't, because it wasn't right on my end or our end, I didn't feel it was fair to have it on, because parts of it was the earlier parts of it was unwatchable. So so I still have it here. I don't know if you can see it right over Pac-Man. It's sitting right up there. I don't have my black lights here because we took all of the black lights and used them at the race, and they're packed up in a tote inside the trailer, and I haven't even gotten there and gotten them out yet. So those props would be glowing. These letters and stuff would be glowing a lot more. This is just a blue LED light shining back there on the background. But after that, there's some things that I'm wanting to do as far as some UDL things, and I hope by that time, I don't know when Isaac is going to get it out, but I know he's working on a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a feedback thing, or some type of a letter. What's the word I'm looking for? It's where you ask people what they think.
A poll.
It's kind of like a poll, but it's going to be
A survey. Of what he wants
Yeah,
people
yeah,
to think
yeah,
about UDL and the power settings and everything.
yeah. It's something. Oh, I had it on my head.
Consensus.
Yeah,
There are many words for it.
yeah. But but anyway, he's going to put that out, uh, and going to encourage everybody to go on and put their 2 cents in as to what they think that they like about the current Igniter series and what they'd like to see changed and all of that. Because I think right now from the people that are flying it, it's about 50-50 on whether they want to keep the boost in or not. So, and there's some other things too. There's some concerns that I have and that other people have expressed to me that they want the flash to be able to be something that you can turn the um, RPM
Mhm.
limiter off so that you can take it, so that you got a standard regular 75 millimeter that you can fly out anywhere, or you turn that on and then it becomes a UDL uh, racer and all of that. So
I
um,
totally agree with that, Pastor. Uh, I think that's what needs to be done, really, to be honest with you, because we have a lot of people that use their 75 mil and other
mhm.
things. Whether
Right.
it's just playing around with it, and like at our race over at 533, we allow 75 mil to actually run in the 65 mil category. So, it would be nice to be able to turn it off without flashing the whole drone.
Yeah, yeah, questionnaire. Yeah, I agree. Uh, Thank you, Apache. He says, just take your time, bro. It's a hard thing. It is, man. It's, I've always heard people say how hard it is. And if you're a parent, you think how hard it is, but it's a lot worse, for us, you know. So, yeah, we're going to be taking a little time off. I hope that everybody's here waiting when we're ready to come back. But yeah, I agree. That the back to UDL, it needs some tweaking and all of that. And I think that that runs people away from that, because you need to have a quad that's completely solely dedicated to UDL. I mean, it's really not a tune that you can fly around the house and have fun flying around the house, or in the backyard at a park or something like that. It's just way too underpowered. And um yeah, well, and you could or how it was before is you just go into the OSD and your OSD menus, and you just turn the RPM filtering. That's how ProSpec and Freedom Spec are, right, Skip, if I'm correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing with that I've talked with Isaac is, and I even did it by mistake. I flew with it turned off, and because we were so new to it back before it was UDL, when it was still UWL, um, and that's most likely why I podiumed and won. And but you can clearly see that Skip was the one. He went back and watched the stream back later when we was back at the gym one of the times, and he was like, "Hey, go to certain minutes and tell me what you see." And it was my OSD when you first started up in the finals, and it says RPM filter off. and that's the reason, uh, one of several. I don't want to speak completely for Isaac. He's a big guy, big boy. He can speak for himself. May have him on the channel after the first of the year. Um, but that wasn't the only thing. But one of the things is people cheating, people intentionally doing that. And there's been rumors that people, uh it's actually been said that people have. I don't know if they have or not. I haven't dealt with it. I don't know anything firsthand, but I've heard that people will take a 27,000 kV uh, tiny motor and take the bell off and put a 19,000 kV bell on it. That's just got the writing that says 19,000 because they'll fit
No,
on.
no, no, what? Yeah, they'll take the stator from a higher kV and
Yeah,
just swap the bells on.
yeah, yeah. Like if you bolted on a 27,000 kV motor and pop the bells off and replace the bells with a bell that has screen printed on it or whatever it is, laser etched 19,000 kV under UWL, that was about the only way you could know. Now
Well,
we had something up our sleeve that we were working on, and it didn't turn out good for us. Um,
right.
or
Well, there's another problem, Pastor, and the thing is if somebody wants to cheat, they'll find a way to do it. And
Yep.
it sucks that there's people out there like that, but you know, I also heard that if you know Betaflight good enough, you can mess with any of the
Mhm.
Street League or UDL or whatever. You can mess with any of them and get better.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Now,
so
my understanding is that the igniter locks the RPM,
I
but
don't
you
think
can but you can
I don't
flash.
think
Go ahead.
I don't think so. It locks it, but I think you can still do CLI commands to gain advantages.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't necessarily know how to do it. I have not done it myself.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Now,
then
what
I've
Isaac
also
had what Isaac had told me is that if you flash the Street League build, it's going to look just like the igniter build. And then you can go into CLI and start making changes and to that. And it's going to look just like the igniter and all of that. But it's not. And from talking to him now, granted, guys, my memory is not good at all. I talked to him back before the race, and I think this is what he had said. The only way to know for sure is to actually take a quad, hook it up to Betaflight, and go into your RPM filtering and try to change it. And when you do, it'll look like it's changed it, but it gives you a value of whatever it is, 13,000 RPMs or whatever RPMs it is. It gives you that and the boost as a range. And no matter what you put in, it's still going to fit it in that range. But what if somebody I didn't yeah, there is a specific firmware for UDL. It's you have to flash the CAC 4.4.2, and then you have to go into the nightly builds over at the side and type in igniter, um, or it's not acceptable. But one of the things that I was thinking at the race is, what if somebody went in there? I don't remember the RPMs. Let's say it's 13,000 RPMs, or well, let's just say it's 3,000 RPMs, and it gives you a 1,000 boost. So it would only allow the tolerance or the change to be from 3,000 to 4,000. But what if you went in and said, make mine 4,000 all the time? And you push the boost. Of course, the boost wouldn't do anything, but I can tell you from pushing the boost, the difference between where it's at and how it flies boosted is significant. It's enough that if you're not Wouldn't you agree, Skip? If you don't pay attention when you hit that boost, it changes the way it flies enough. You're probably going to crash out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah. Anytime I use the boost or whatever, I didn't really gain any advantages using the boost myself. You really have to be steady and in a straightaway to use the boost, and it actually worked good.
and I
Uh, the,
do like it for me, not to cut you off, Skip. For me, when the questionnaire comes out, I'm going to vote to keep a boost. I wouldn't have before the championship, but who was it that did it? Who there was somebody in the race that it made the difference in the final. They were able to use it and pull past the person that was right in front of them. And who was that?
do
Uh,
know in our race that we had
it's on the
that
stream. Whether you can hear me
that
talking about it or not, it's on there.
yeah, I do know in our race we had a lot of fast sections in our race,
Mhm.
and that allowed you to actually use the boost and make it work. Uh, and I done that on purpose. At first, the track was more technical when we had it on Velocidrone, and then I just got to thinking, you know what? I would really, really like us to have a really fun time, uh, running as long as stretches that we possibly can with the UDLs because me and Pastor ran a UDL track in his church, and it was a lot of fun. And we done the long stretches and
Mhm.
went over the track, kind of like we did at championship. But the championship was bigger, and I wanted the opportunity to run those long stretches, and I think that's what made the track so much fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I think that I know for me that, of course, with all of the problems that were going on, which you know rattled me. I have to say it kind of rattled me a bit because I'm when it comes to racing and stuff like that, I want it to go smooth. Really, really, really want it to go smooth. And there was some hiccups in it, but even with that, the more I flew it, the faster I got. And at one point there, I was just trying to get below uh, one 100 seconds in 3 laps, and I had been at 101. I was at 101, 101, 101, and switched back to a heavier quad. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to pre-cut every turn. I don't care if I'm 150. And I told Charlotte, I was like, you know what? I need 2 seconds. That's all I need is to cut 2 seconds off 3 laps, and uh, then I'm good. I can quit. I can go home. I can be good. And that round, I got a late start for one, off the blocks, but I ended up cutting 6 seconds off, and was down around 95. And for me, that was good. And it worked out in the finals and all to make the finals and even heats and all of that. So, but it seemed like the more I raced it, the faster I was getting. And usually with me, after a while, I will peak about an hour or so into something. And if I don't stop for a little while, take a break, I just keep getting worse. But on the UDL track, I was just accumulatively getting faster and faster and faster. And it was madness. That's who it was. It just come to my mind. It was Madness. If you go back and watch in the sport final, I believe it was, Madness uses his boost at a time that causes him to overtake Johnny Scars or Kestrel. One of the two was in front of him. You could clearly see because Johnny was orange and Kestrel was green, and he overtook them, and they ended up crashing out. And in that particular heat, I don't think it was the finals. I think it was lining him up to get him into the finals, and that because I was watching, he had analog, and if you watch the stream, and we said it during the stream, but I'll say it during this stream. Ryan, Carl, we need something about HD Zero's OSD for it to display the boost bar through the event VRX. You could see it in your goggles, so we know HD Zero can see it. Everybody had it in their goggles just fine. But it didn't show up. The event VRX wouldn't pick it up. But Madness had analog. He was running analog, so he was the only one that in UDL, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there was anybody else at UDL that was running analog but Madness. Now, there was times that you could hardly make out. I mean, it was so dark in some places that it was hard for me to see, at least, in it. But you could see that bar. And I remember in the race, you could see, I think it was Johnny Scars, that orange drone up ahead of him, and he hits the boost and passes him right in this straight stretch. And then right after that, I think it was Johnny Scars, the other player that the other racer that he passes, sees it distracts him or whatever. He hits a gate or whatever, and then he's down, and then his lead was securely. Ever since I raced with you on Velocidrone, I've been hooked on racing in the sim and on my Race Gal 5 track. It's definitely helped me fly better. Yeah, and if things go like I hope they go, starting at the first of the year, I'm planning on doing some official type UDL races on Velocidrone. Mr. E and different ones have given me some things that's going to make doing brackets and getting people, officially into these races. So gonna help that get done a whole lot better. Analog's fine. Now on 65 millimeter, what, half the pilots, you'd say, Skip, was on analog?
No, I don't know. I don't think half. I'm thinking probably a third at most. Uh, there were quite a bit of HD0 guys. I was very surprised of how many HD0 guys there were
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah. I didn't see.
I think it's the way it's going to go, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
I think I only seen one pair of goggles that wasn't HD0. Now, I did see someone that took their Gen 1 HD0 ski type goggles, or whatever we call them, binocular goggles, and when they got the box goggles, they prefer the box goggles and over their other ones. Equity says that what's up, all? We are out here in Tampa racing UDL right now. All right, man.
Nice. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing. As far as how Isaac does it or whatever, I think he should really go towards something that you could take off and take on and off real easy. Because me and Pastor really enjoy UDL more than the 65
Yeah.
mil, and we don't want to see it just get taken over by something else, you know.
Right.
Uh,
Well, and
so and,
also we wouldn't you agree with this, Skip? Um, I'm sorry I keep interrupting you.
no,
Uh,
you're fine.
uh, we both see, and we've had this conversation, that the barrier to entry, we see it. We see guys that show up at a race and fly 65, but because they don't have a UDL, and they always say, I have a 75 millimeter. Will that work? And we're like, no, not technically. Sometimes I've let people fly that that uh, were flying just a standard 75 millimeter, and then because of that, I've Skip. I know Skip saw it the last time we were in Maryville together. Uh, then pilots just left. They're like, sounds like fun, but I don't have a dedicated, you know, 75 millimeter whoop that I can flash this flash on it that's going to, make me, one, legal for the race, but two, if I want to take it out to a park and rip around in a playground, I've got to put it back into to beta flight, uh, and people just don't want to do that. To the point that Skip and I have talked about, both of us talked about literally purchasing, or well, in Skip's case, building, but me literally purchasing another UDL and a separate Radio Master Pocket or something like that, with a, like a generic uh bind phrase that's nothing like ours, that we set up, that so when people show up and they're like, oh man, I would, but I don't have one, we'd be like, okay, here's one with a radio, here's how you arm, here's your crash flip, and here's your boost button. Now fly with us. That's where we're at. We're at the point to where we are even looking into, I think we're past the point of talking about it. We're looking into the feasibility of buying a UDL, building slash buying, investing in a UDL that we're probably not going to fly, and a radio that's not on our bind phrase, so that they can fly the same time I do. One of the things that that I have three or four. I think I have four UDLs that I take with me, but they all have my bind phrase on them. Now I have two uh, Radio Master Boxers. They both have the same bind phrase on them, so I can't fly against those people. Who I tried it one time and I didn't know it, and I'm like, hey, somebody's moving my quad, you know, and what it was, that I had my radio turned my radio back on, but because theirs was on first, when I plugged my drone up, it linked to their radio. So, and it will switch like that back and forth. So you really, if you do that, you need to have, the radio's got to have a different bind phrase from the one that you use. So that's to the point that we're looking into doing that, just to get people back interested in it. And to me, it might have been because they were new, and tell me if you feel the same way about this, Skip. People seemed a lot more interested in UWL back when you could turn it off. We didn't have as much of a problem with guys um, not having a whoop to fly with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's worth having a couple extra guys stay over that actually want to race, and
mhm.
and in providing a drone like that for them, because those drones are actually robust. They actually you can crash them and bang them into the wall, and they don't go fast enough to where you can destroy them
Right.
like you can the drone.
Yeah. Unless they got a MIPI cable on them. And then you can be replacing MIPI cables. I think, what's this, the third one that you've replaced for me, isn't it, Skip?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
on the same quad. So Skip's like, Marty, the newer ones, they're not even using MIPI cables, man. I know, but
Right.
I like that fat one better. It flies so much. To me, it flies a lot. To me, it flies better than the light one, but that's just the way I fly. I think I'm just broken that way. So
Well, that build that I had, I have to tell you what, that build I had with that new frame, that sucker was fast.
yeah.
I was actually catching people. I caught so when uh when Charlotte was in the lead, Charlito, when she was in the lead, Johnny Scars was right behind her, and I had a bobble, and I caught back up with Johnny Scars to have a midair with, and which I was going to try to catch up to Charlotte, but
Hmm.
definitely caught back up with Johnny, and Johnny wasn't too far off from the
Hmm.
weight himself, so
Yeah.
the one I had was pretty fast.
Yeah. Well, I know I weighed in first at like 42.6 or something. And then Skip put his on the scale, and it was like 39,999.40. Then it changed, and he was like, "Oh, right on the money." And then it went back down to like 39,999. I was like, "That close, man. It's good enough to go."
Yeah,
So
it just matter wherever you positioned it on the scale, because I found out you just move it a little bit forward and it was
yeah,
four zeros all the way across.
if the air conditioning was lightly blowing down on it, I mean, because that scale was the scale that I have is it's a jeweler's
Yeah.
scale, and it's to the third decimal place. It's very accurate. So, uh, but yeah, but there, he was right at 40, and I was right at 3 grams heavier than he was. And you're definitely running the same motor and the same prop. So there's no
If
way
you want
in the straight street.
right. If
Yeah.
you want a drone that weighs dead on the money, I I I'm building them at 533 myself, dead on the money.
Yeah. And
I'm
that's the
I'm
hot and readies.
sure, yeah. Any of the UDLs.
Yeah.
The analog and the HD0. I prefer the HD01 over the analog one myself, because it doesn't take much to get it to 40 grams. Uh, it normally, once you put the LEDs all the way around it and everything,
Mhm.
it's at 40 grams. The analog though, with the frame that we're using, we're having to make up like 5 or 6 grams, and it's not easy to make up that much weight
Mhm.
on a little drone like that. So
Right.
yeah,
Put a little extra hot glue here and there or something. Yeah.
I've got I've got a picture. I've got 4 pictures I've done back to back, and they all weigh dead on 40 grams.
Mm, there you go. What about having a couple laptops so they can flash for UDL, then back again? Well, it's not that easy. Um, some we found that with the Igniter series, and tell me, Skip, if it's still doing it. You run into some issues sometimes of when you flash that it loses your bind data, right?
Yeah.
And then you got to go
Well,
back in and do that.
So let's just dive into that. What's going on in a race environment? So in a race environment, you have probably 30 minutes to an hour to get that done.
Mhm.
To be to have your stuff ready to go, and 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 there's a lot of people doing stuff during that time, helping each other out, and people making tracks and getting the stream ready and everything. So the people there that are knowledgeable about getting it done for you are normally doing stuff already.
Yeah, they're busy. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and then once that time is up and you're actually racing, the then you're in the territory of plugging in on somebody and and them getting upset because you turn your drone on while they're racing and cutting their
Mhm.
video out.
Yep.
So it's just in the race setting, it's not really
Yeah.
feasible
Mhm.
for a normal person to just come in and flash their drone and be ready to go.
Mhm.
It sounds feasible, but as we know, building drones, that there's, when you go to programming, not everybody has it down pat on programming.
You,
Uh,
you know, go ahead. Remind me that I've got an idea for you, Skip. And I'm gonna.
now, now the good thing is HD0 has kind of changed it a little bit because if everybody's got HD0, then it's the same thing over and over again. It's not as hard. But it also comes down to the build, how they solder the wires and everything. If you solder the wires up normally and you just put them, all three to all three pads, it's usually just two motors you got to go in, and it's not Betaflight. You can't change it in Betaflight. You have to change it in ESC configurator online. So that means now you're opening a Wi-Fi connection too,
Mhm.
and that Wi-Fi connection needs to be down while they're racing because that interferes with also. So
Mhm.
it's just a big thing to do for people to get everything flashed and ready.
Mhm. It is. Uh, I was thinking the other night, couldn't sleep, and uh, it I thought of something that would be good to make as a race coordinator and organizer and all of that. And I don't know if people have thought of it yet, but uh, a box with no, you would have to have some special, probably some copper wiring over the back, but basically something like an ammo box with a hole cut in it for some fans, and then wrap that ammo box in like copper mesh shielding, and then have a door that flaps up, and just a little place that you could that has a USB C and micro the end of the door, so that you could literally plug the quad up, set it inside of this box with fans blowing on it to keep it cool, and then you can flash whatever because it's in a Faraday cage and the signal's not going to get out.
So this is what I do. Uh, so first off, whenever you're flashing stuff, you want to make sure your remote off because if you're bound to it before, you're using a UART up while you're flashing it. And you don't want to use a UART up because it might use that same path uh, and while you got your radio on and to flash it. So you want to have your radio off. Now, the second thing is you could flash it without the battery plugged up. So getting it flashed is not the big deal. The big deal is, getting the motors going correctly. You have to have it plugged up. So what I usually do is whenever I get it flashed, the first thing I do is I go on to the transmitter tab and I turn the VTX on channel 3 and power at 0. So that means I'm in pit mode basically. I'm at 0 power and I'm at a channel that nobody uses. And the
Mhm.
reason why they don't use channel 3 is because it already gets a bunch of static, anyways, from Wi Fi and signals and all that. So people stay clear of channel 3. And so that's why I use channel 3 and zero power. Now, once you get it on channel 3 and zero power, then you can start messing. That's the only way I've found to actually plug in during a race and not uh, mess everybody up.
But we always run into the situation where there's somebody that's, well, and it's not always a noob, but it's somebody new to racing. I've raced with people that have been in the hobby for a long time, but they're not race focused. And I hear this all the time. Well, my 65 millimeter is on R1 and I can't get it off R1. I fly on R1 at home. So can you just make sure in every heat that I stay on R1? And as a race director, you can do that for one person. You might be able to get away with doing it with two if their skill levels would be vastly different. But what ends up happening a lot is if you let somebody into the race and you let them start racing and you give them this
Privilege.
privilege and the permission to race outside of what everybody else is adhering to, um, and inevitably it comes down where both of these people are in the same heat. What do you do? Well, somebody's got to change. And most of the time, this is people that they're flying analog and they don't have smart audio hooked up. They don't have the right VTX tables. Uh, they're the same ones that will come up to you and say, look, it says right here in my OSD, it says 25 milliwatts. And that's why I was telling I remember who it was. Somebody said something about, it might've been Phil he said, is the Explorer, is it worth it? It's a lot of money. Is it worth that amount of money? I don't know, but I could tell you if it was $200 cheaper, I'd tell everybody to get it because there's no question there. When that thing's there, you either have it projecting or you have it up on another screen. And if a pilot comes up, which in this case, I'm not going to say any names. We had a pilot and I could tell he didn't want to come to me and say anything. He's like, man, I don't really want to be this guy. He said, but I've got horrible video and somebody is stepping all over me and it to the point that it's hard for me to race. And to the point that I think he got close to the end of the race and pulled his goggles up and flew through the last start-finish gate line of sight. And he's like, I really don't want to be this guy. He said, but can we have everybody tested that was just in this last heat with me? And I was like, sure. That's what we got it for. This, it's, and some pilots are like, oh man, why are you stopping the race for? Well, it eliminates the questions.
Yeah.
We brought everybody's up there that was racing and everybody's VTXs were bang. They were spot on where they were supposed to be. They weren't high. And I asked him, I said, well, let me see yours. And he turned his on and it was where it was supposed to be, but it was like 10, maybe 15 milliwatts. And I was like, that's your problem. It's not theirs. It's that your VTX is too weak. And, he's like, well, can I turn it up? And I was like, can you turn it up? I mean, maybe you might, some VTXs, you can turn it up to 50 and it's still going to be like 25, maybe 30 if it's a weak VTX. But I think in his case, I think it ended up being an antenna that was messed up on it. But in his case, the only other setting he had was 100 milliwatts. And when
Yeah.
he switched it to that, it would boom. He's just like clearly, and I'm like, no, now you will be stepping on other people.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Now, I have noticed something, Pastor, and I've done a lot of tests on this.
Mhm.
And when I'm talking about done a lot of tests, is I have took my own goggles and I've used a plethora of antennas.
Mhm.
And what I've noticed is if you have omnidirectional good antennas,
Mhm.
and they're big ones,
Mhm.
because I don't know if you remember. Do you remember whenever I used to have the thing on the front of my goggles, and I had antennas just sticking up everywhere on my goggles. I don't know if
Vaguely,
you.
vaguely. I think I remember.
So
You also had like a little backpack thing on the side, didn't you?
yeah, so
Okay. Yep.
whenever I started at 533,
Mhm.
I thought the best antennas is where I need to be at because I wanted to get the best reception. Well, when it comes to racing, this is not always the best thing for you to do. And the reason why is because your antennas are not only picking up, other people across the yard using their whatever they're using, but it's also picking up radio interference, uh,
Multipath. Yep.
Wi- Wi-Fi interference. You also have multipathing stuff bouncing off. The
Mhm.
whenever you have this RF going everywhere, it's bouncing all over the place. Well, I found out that using patch antennas, all patch antennas, is the best setup. And when I say it's the best setup, when I the first year I went to IO, I had all those big Luminaire double antennas, the
Mhm.
good ones, you know,
Yeah.
the
$40 a
90.
piece. Yeah. Yeah.
They're really good. And I was picking up people in other races,
Mhm.
and just was not good for me. I was hurting myself, and I ended up just taking them off.
Mhm.
And it was better to run with no antennas at all
Mhm. Yep. Didn't have
than
too much. Yep.
have too much.
Mhm.
But I found the right sweet spot is the patch antennas because you're directing that straight in front of you where
Mhm.
you're at. And that's what I've used ever since, and I ain't had a
Mhm.
problem ever
Yeah.
since.
I don't know if you noticed on both sets of my HD0 goggles, I have a patch on the side. Uh, I have one of the true RCs up there in its clip, and the other side it's a Menace RC uh, Bandicoot, I believe it is. It's a linear patch, so it's not right hand circular polarized patch. It's linear, which is what most whoops come with. They come with a linear antenna, and I've noticed with that one linear, I normally put it in slot one. And if you watch, which I've not done very many reviews, but if I go back and watch my DVR, I will see that the other three antennas, because HD0 lists them your signal strength up across the top. The number one spot is always the fullest. Now, if I go in a fly behind me, it's going to start picking up from the omnis. But as long as the quad is out in front of me, a linear patch antenna, which that's what these new HD0 uh, antennas. Have you heard about them?
Yeah.
That HD0's come out with. I'm probably going to get a set of them. The patches on the front of those are linear, and then it's just got two omnis. Now, if you're flying outside, uh, then you know I have noticed I keep in my other case. I've two of the mellow mushrooms that are long enough to get up over my head. Because if you're flying like around behind you, if you got a stubby sitting right here and your melon is even remotely as thick as mine is and full of water, it's it's you're not going to get good reception. But if you can get those antennas up above your head, those omnis, it's much better. Yeah, Ryan does have a video out about them. So and I think they're like $50 or something like that. They're not bad for a whole set. I don't know who's got them or anything, but I know that they're out there. So but yeah, I remember it was Tiny Whoop was in Knoxville years ago. Jesse came and they did a race in a bar somewhere in Knoxville, and the RF was horrible. And I remember on that stream that Evan had told everybody, just take your antennas off. Everybody take your antennas off. And that solved the problem so that they were able to race. Nobody was running any antennas, which mean that the only thing their goggles could pick up was what they were looking for. So yeah, I don't know. Exiled Scoop says he needs to seek out these new antennas. I know HD Zero has or Divimath has a HD Zero US. There is a US warehouse now, so you may be able to go onto their website and pick those up. And they may be more than $50. I think is it $30 or $25 if you buy the goggles. If you buy them with the goggles, and I think, don't get me wrong, I think it's $50 if you buy them separate. I would go and look, but this window that I have pulled up right here, it is a window on my extra screen, and if I switch to anything else, it's going to cut Skip out. So yeah, I'm gonna be on here for probably about another 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna log off, guys. I do plan on having at least another couple streams between now and the New Year's to do some giveaways. But again, as far as being on weekly, I am going to take a break. We desperately need one here. Yeah, I didn't get to watch the unicycle. I didn't get to watch the comparison video either. But I know in his first video he said that he put them neck and neck with the true RCs that were like double the money, and they performed almost identical in every test. That was now, whether that's the same in his comparison video or not, I don't know. So
well, I can try to pick up nights and stream myself on some of those nights.
okay.
And until you come back. So I'll try to pick up some of those nights myself.
Yeah. Well, let me know every now and then, and I might hop on for a little bit. It's easier I can hop on from my phone on Discord a lot easier than, coming in and setting everything up and all of that. And that's what I'm running into the most, is there's so much that we're doing, that we got going on, from resetting up our house to things that's going on at church. And last night we didn't get home until midnight. Last Thursday, we were at church working, till 10, 11 o'clock at night, trying to get things done. And so, yeah, got to take care of yourself, brother. We'll miss you. Your physical, mental health is more important. Yeah, it is. And hopefully you guys will will be here, and um, I'm really going to try to get on uh, and do at least one or two giveaways um, for the members, the channel members, uh, um, to keep it worth it to stay as a channel member. So because that helps the channel and all of that, and in the hobby, there is Skip, and now dozens and dozens of people can vouch, which Skip could for a long time, that uh, there is nowhere near a small amount of money invested in putting on these races. It's a lot of gear and a lot of money, and you know, and
Yeah,
it would be good
absolutely.
if it was a one-time purchase, but you still got to change things and update things. Since IO, I've went through 3 different mouses, whatever you want to call them, a mouse. And when Dreadpool, who's an IT guy, when he got there and he was working around, he was like, "Man, I hate this mouse too." So at first we had a trackball, the one you move with the thumb. You remember that at IO?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to kill that mouse. So I got
Oh
another one.
yeah.
I got a better one, or I got another one, and it wasn't as good. I got an ONN one, a cheap one from Walmart. It wasn't any good. So I tossed that and I upgraded to a Logitech. I thought, okay, a Logitech is a decent mouse. It's basically the same kind that I use here on the stream. And I thought it works for me at home, so it'll work in the field. And Dreadpool was like, no, he comes out with a Dale that had a cord on it. He's like, here we go. And that one was so much better. So little stuff like
So
that.
they
Yep.
have a Microsoft Bluetech mouse that they actually are really good on any surface. I didn't know if you
Mm-hmm.
knew that or not. But
Blue Tech.
no, yeah, Bluetech. Uh it's a blue laser and you can be on a glass table and it'll actually work on a glass
Ah,
table.
where?
But no, we spend about I would average about $500 at the very least on a small simple race.
Yeah.
That's paying for the venue and all the little things that we need here and there.
Mm-hmm.
We always need some kind of power cord or USB cable or something like that. And because we never have enough,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like they just vanish somehow.
Yep.
Uh, but
USB
no,
bricks. You cannot have enough USB bricks.
no, absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah, they just they fly away or something. I don't know what happens. We definitely don't leave them plugged up.
No, no.
uh, but no, I want to do a little plug before we leave here. So we have the Tiny Trainer and 65 mil race coming up. So I will share my screen right here, and we've got the Super Bundle budget pack for the Tiny Trainer battery. And so you get 6 3S batteries for $50.
Hmm.
Uh, so I mean that's super cheap if you think about it.
It is.
Uh, you know, $10 a pack would be $60. So you're getting them cheaper than $10 a pack.
Yeah.
Uh, they're rebranded China Hobby Line batteries, and if you look right here, I've uh, got a 6 pack of them right here myself.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a little 3D print, just hit me up on the side and I'll make you a little 6 pack to put your batteries in. And basically, that's what they are right there. They're 600 mAh. The Tattoo R line Tiny Trainer battery is a 550, so you get a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more mAh out of it.
And does it
Uh,
fit in the
and
same? Does it fit in the
yep,
same bottom
yeah,
thing?
it fits in the same TPU holder. It's a little tight, but it does fit.
Okay.
Uh, and yeah, for $50, go and grab you some Tiny Turner battery.
All right. While you got that site pulled up, if you would pull up the um, hot and ready UDL.
All right.
We'll do some more plugging.
There we go. There's the hot and ready UDL.
And that's the
This
HD0 one.
This is the HD01,
All right.
which is one of the fastest builds out there. I would say, I would confidently say that it is the fastest ready to fly UDL on the market.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that because everybody that was flying it had a marked improvement. Now it says
Yeah.
coming soon. Yeah, so those are not available.
So we are waiting on motors. Motors should be here tomorrow,
Okay.
and so definitely if you order one, it's not going to be hot and ready, but it'll be on order, and it should be out really, really fast. Especially if you got a race coming up.
Yeah.
If you say, "Hey, I've got a race coming up, want to get one for the race,"
Now,
and
if somebody
you
puts in the message down there, uh, make my LEDs red and white. Do y'all do that? Is that part of it?
Okay, so the hot and ready one has programmable LEDs on, so you'll be able to program them however you want. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've seen.
I know that, but if you put in the note saying I want mine in red.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
We customize. If you just order one to build, we definitely customize them however you want them, and we'll put them in any color that you want.
Eco or Lux?
Uh, the This one is the Eco Cam. So the Lux Cam is a little bit heavier, but you can request it. So it's not something that we can't do.
Does it
Uh,
cost more for that, or is it still the same price?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think it costs much more. It does
Okay.
cost more.
Well,
It
I'll
ain't
answer
much.
that question for you guys because I'm probably going to order one here in the next uh, week or so with a Lux because I prefer the Lux over the Eco myself.
Well,
So
they definitely make a difference for sure. This build is it's definitely one of the fastest. We'll give you edge, UDL,
yeah,
and every little edge count for sure.
yeah, yeah. And the difference between the Lux and the um, Eco is not a lot in the way, and I think you're talking about not even 1 gram difference. So, but 1 gram can make a
Right.
difference in the UDL. So, but that depends. Do you
Well,
want to
we
trade a little bit
definitely
of
make
speed?
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I have a Lux on mine, and
Hmm.
I definitely make sure that it's still at 40 grams.
Oh, okay.
If
Oh, so it
Yeah,
can be done.
so
All right. Well, cool.
can be done.
Yeah, I'll be getting in touch with you, Skip. I'm probably going to place an order for that and probably those batteries, even though I won't be. I doubt that I'll be in the 2025 part of the Tiny Trainer season, but I will be in the. Uh, I do plan to be in the at the first of the year. So
Okay.
I just we just
Well,
need to take.
Pastor,
All right.
thank you for having me.
Yep. Thank you.
I'm glad we came on and talked today.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
The race was awesome, guys. You need to come out. We're going to have some more races coming up next year. We're also going to have some races at 533. You can come out and check us out because we're having a blast and
Yep.
join in on the fun. You know,
Yep.
the races is booming in Tennessee. So
Yep. Just
uh,
got this in the mail today. Skip took care of it for me. 533 or Skip.
there's some exciting stuff going on in the tiny trainer world that I can't talk about. but it's coming up soon. You're gonna have something coming up for this Christmas, I think,
All
and
right.
so be looking out for some cool stuff coming out.
All right. All right, Skip. Thank you, man.
All right, thank you.
We'll see you, brother.
See ya.
All right. Let me switch this camera back in the event that I do something non-Discordish. That's a word. All right, guys. How's it going, Johnny? Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. Going to be fun. Flying High, Florida. How's it going, man? Yeah, the Lux and the AI05 I think is the way to go. All right, guys, you start putting in your goodbyes here because I'm going to log off, and it'll probably be a couple of weeks before I do a giveaway or anything. I don't know. It just depends on what my schedule ends up looking like and all of that. So I want to thank everybody for your membership and support of the channel, support of me, your prayers and things like that in this time for my family. It's meant a lot to us all. So that being said, if I don't talk to you again before Thanksgiving or Christmas, I hope you have a blessed one with you and yours. And remember, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, keep flying and rise up and meet me in the air. God bless you.